Adam, what you got for him? What we talking about?
Wildgate.
Wild Gates. Why are you excited about this game, bro?
This I played the beta. It's coming out July 22nd, so next week. I'm very excited about this one. And I think I'm excited about this game for a lot of different reasons. The biggest one is so what this game is an extraction Sea of Thieves kind of hero shooter, and it works.
That's the number one thing I saw. This is Space Sea of Thieves.
Space Sea of Thieves, and I think why I like it a lot is it's it's got a lot going on, but it's simplified, if that makes sense. Like it's so there's a lot of things, there's some strategy to it, but it's not overly complicated where people can't just jump into it and like have fun playing a few rounds, but it's also there's enough there to have strategy and have a full team and really dive deep into this game. And I think that's why I'm really into this one. And like I said, I played the beta. This one comes out, I already said July 22nd. It's made by Moonshot Games and published by, or no, yeah, Moonshot Games is who it's made by and published by Dreamhaven. I probably have that backwards, something like that.
$30 price tag, so fairly accessible. Um, I think, I'll be honest, I didn't play the beta, but I did a lot of research and kind of looked at all aspects of this game. I think there's two things here. One's very positive, one's very negative. I think the positive side, looking at the game, it just looks fun. And you know what? I think games kind of gotten away from that a little bit where everything needs to be a thing. Sometimes you don't want it to be a thing. You just want to have fun. And I think this is a game that you can just load up with friends, solo, whatever you want to do, and just have fun. It's just a fun game. Like you said, everything's been simplified. On the flip side, I do think you always run the risk with games like this that the shelf life on them are uh, very low. So, on the flip side, this could be a game that only sticks around for a few months. Um, $30 price tag, I don't think very many people would. I mean, people would be upset about it, but it's not the end of the world, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Positive, it looks very fun. It looks like a fun game. Negative, there's always the possibility that you don't get to play it for very long.
And I want to say that I see what you're saying there. And I think with this game, there wasn't a lot of stuff on it before the betas. I think it was during the showcase or like the Summer Games Fest is where people are like, oh, what is this game? Let me check it out. Oh, there's a beta. Let's jump into it. And the amount of positive feedback that I kind of watch in the videos and watching streamers and things like that, everybody was really jumping on board. But like you said, a lot of people do that on new fresh games that we talk about. But for me, I think that what's refreshing to see is they're not just launching this game and saying it's over. Like, you know what I mean? There's gonna be content released for the game. Um and it's also nice to see. So kind of going into a little bit I this is kind of a breakdown of the things that I read about what they're doing for it at launch. From the beta, this is like I'm not going super in depth, but at launch, they're gonna have balance updates from the beta. So there's obviously metas and OP stuff about it. There's quality of life changes, but they're also adding, which is it's called scrap crates. It almost sounds like crap crates, but crates, which will give you XP and cosmetics. Which they're at start they're gonna have over 150 cosmetics for your ship, your character, guns, all that stuff, and they're just gonna keep adding more as they kind of move on. More customization for like the player cards. So like if you get 20 kills in the game, you'll have a little player card that you can customize. I don't care about that to be honest, but I know some people are really like, oh, I want to customize anything I can. Infamy system, infamy system. I don't really know what that means, but I saw that it was there. But what I think is cool about this game, they are going to have post-launch content, bi-weekly updates, which will have anomalies. So in the beta, you load in, and then when you're waiting for the matchmaking to kind of go all the way through, it will say the different anomalies. So there's like asteroids and a rogue AI robots that can come chase you down, and storms and things like that. So they're gonna have more of those anomalies as you load into the games. Um, there's going to be an in-game cosmetic rotate, like shop rotation of the cosmetics, and obviously fixes that they do every other week. And then mid-season patches, so bigger balance updates, things like that. And then seasonal content drops. They're hoping to do 3 a year, which will be either a new prospect or a prospector or ship, new weapons, equipment, systems, and features. And then I thought this was cool. They're going to expand the reach to different areas rather than doing the same map over and over, which I think is really neat. And then they will have in-game purchases, but it's purely cosmetic. They're not gonna paywall like specific characters and things like that, which I think is nice.
When it comes to gameplay, there's like your ship outside of ship, right?
Yeah, so in
Okay.
the game, you can the way it works is I don't know how much they're gonna change from the beta to this. Obviously, it comes out next week, so we can actually say then. But so you load into the game and you start in your ship. In the ship, you go around looting. You're looting for better gear for your ship, different cannons, um, things to yeah load like basically improve your ship to go tackle other people or try to find the oh man, I can't remember, it's like a specific, oh, it's a relic. You have to find the rare relic and escape the reach with that relic to win the match.
Right.
And so by upgrading your ship and things like that, you then you come against the PvP part of the game and you attack other people's ships. You can go in and out of your ship. You can jump board other people's ships, tear their ship apart. You can fix your ship, and it's just fun. It starts a little slow, I will say. Like to get to the battle between players, it takes a little bit of time, but it I had so much fun with it. It felt rewarding as you did all the looting, and then you come across and just completely shred a ship. And my favorite part is like jumping out of the ship and jumping on a ship and they have no idea and you just completely like wreck them, like shoot all 4 of them and then you destroy their ship. It's so fun. It's so cool.
And then, so the one thing that I was having a little bit of like, I wasn't too sure looking at the footage. Is this PvP or PvPvE?
So it's both. So it starts out as a PvE. And so PvP can happen at any moment in the game, but when
Okay.
you're searching for specific loot and there's different tasks that you do as you go try to find the loot, like there's different AI things you have to do, capture this point, kill all these aliens and these robots, and that's how you gather the loot. And then like the loot room opens and that's where you can gather all the loot.
Okay. All right. That
Mhm.
makes more sense. So, like, I'm gonna ask you this: what is your like? Because looking at this game, like I said, it looks fun. I'm getting into FPS now, and I like the idea of having the ship. I think it's a cool dynamic to be able to be in ship, jump out of ship. I like that a lot. What is like, but still a little bit. It kind of looks just like kind of like a game that I would expect. It kind of looks like it fits the format. What is like your one takeaway that like you think makes this game super unique?
I think it's the fact of yes, you can jump in and out of the ship of space or like Sea of Thieves, like you can go attack other ships. But this one, it does it in a way that it just feels it just feels fresh. Like when playing the game, the way the game handles and just the idea of how you can jump out of your ship and you can fix your ship, shoot the cannons. It's just so cool to me. I don't know, maybe because I'm a space guy, I love space and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's why it's so refreshing to me. But it just plays well, and I think it's just maybe I'm just tired of the same mundane like Call of Duty stuff, and I was just looking for something, and I just happened to stumble across this, but it just feels different in the sense that it's not the same Call of Duty. It's not the same like stage map shooting. Like you have this in the world is kind it's open like it's got a geo fence. Like, you know what I mean? It's got a fence where you can't go past, but it's open world. It just feels different to me.
You got to bet your bottom dollar. How long do you think this game lasts for? Is this a game that's going to stand, or do you think this is another one that's going to bite the dust in 6 months?
I don't think it's gonna bite the dust in 6 months. Like it's not gonna be a Concord or anything like that, which that game is dead.
Dead, dead. That
Dead
game's
dead.
dead before it even started.
Yeah. This what this game has going for it is I think there's an audience for it. I think people that like Sea of Thieves, I think they're the true like the big fans of Sea of Thieves, they're not gonna leave Sea of Thieves to come to this. But for somebody like me that's looking for different games and things like that, I think this can hold your attention, or at least my attention, for Probably like at least a year. I plan on jumping into this game like full heart. This is gonna be my main game that I want to play. Like this is what, or at least as of right now, that's what I want to do. I will say some things that I want to see change in the game is I want there to be, I want there to be a way that, and this might happen. There should be some type of other game mode. I don't know what type of game mode that it could be. I want to see like a couple more different types of game modes. Maybe like a, I don't, and I just said I don't want it to feel like the same mundane like shooter,
You
but
about to list a whole bunch of Call of Duty games right now.
I think it would be kind of cool to have like one or two maps of like an arena shooter. You know what I mean? Like you're off the ship, like, or something like that. But just to keep the content fresh, I'm like, okay, I've done this same load into the space battle and over and over and over. It'd be nice to be like, okay, let's just go shoot people without like worrying about the ship. Like that'd be kind of neat. Um, I think that I want I can't I think it'd be cool to be able to solo queue with a solo queue ship. Kind of have like a, like almost like a cat and mouse kind of situation. Maybe you're not allowed to get the relic, but you can be like that annoyance that you go around shooting other ships just for the heck of it. Like shooting people in ships, like you're driving like a, this is a terrible like thing, but or terrible example, but like you have like a TIE fighter sized ship going against these big ships and stuff like that. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Episode 68 is all about chaos. Adam is
Yeah.
just diving into chaos today.
Yeah. It is, my brain is all over the place. But I think that'd be so cool if like you could solo queue or duo queue, because like in Sea of Thieves, there's a twosome, there's a threesome ship and a foursome ship. So like that'd be kind of cool if they kind of figure out a way to do that without. I think balancing would be hard because well maybe not, because if the ship is that small, obviously like the health would be, like your speed would be quick and your health would be really low. And they have ships like that, but they're all person ships, and it's hard to kind of play the ship with only two or three people.
I don't know. To me, it does look like a game that people could really latch onto. I wasn't setting you up because I think I have a difference in opinion here. I think this is a game that is going to last for a little while. I can see the appeal and I can see the amount of people that are excited for it. So I do think it sticks around. And at a $30 price tag, it still costs money, but it's more accessible. It's accessible to more people at that price point. So I think you'll get a good player base and people that'll stick around for a good long time.
I think it's going to be very similar to, so the finals blew up when that game came out. It blew up, it exploded. It's definitely a lot lighter, a lot less people playing it, but it still has a solid base of players that keep it alive. And I think that's what's going to happen with this game. Um, it's, and I don't know how long the big player base will be. I think if a couple streamers latch onto it, it's going to kind of keep its life even longer. But just based off of what I'm reading and kind of some of the interviews I read with the developers and stuff, they don't want this game to be, oh, we'll release it and see you later. They want it to kind of expand and grow with time and not just drop it and say, okay, we're done. So I'm hopeful. A lot of developers do that because they want you to buy the game and then they just like, oh shoot.
We got your money. So
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
good. Yeah.
So
No.
hopefully they stay true to like, yes, we're gonna release content and new features and things like that that keep you interested. But it's all hard to say. But I'm excited for it. Comes out next week, July 22nd.
Comes out July 22nd. I do think it looks like a fun game. I do think it sticks around for a while. Of course, only time will tell, but we wish it nothing but the best.